Hi, and thank you for tuning in as I share how I got into writing. I'll talk about my journey with writing, some early mistakes, some wins, as well as some lessons. So, my journey with writing began when I was in elementary school. I've always been passionate about creating stories, so I'd write stories and draw pictures before completing my homework assignments. And that turned into me beginning to write poetry. And my poetry was inspired based on what was happening in my environment, what I saw on TV, what I did at school, and things that just motivated me. I would oftentimes write rhyming poetry and a lot of prose and free verse. And then from there, I got into narrative writing because I wanted to tell a story. And wanting to tell a story, I'd write short stories as well as some like longer narratives. And from a professional standpoint, my undergraduate degree is in writing. When I started my undergraduate degree, I was planning to do business, but I wind up majoring in writing and minoring in entrepreneurship. And I'm happy about that decision. And then I also have a background in creative writing. So I've always enjoyed the opportunity to tell a story with my writing. Some of my early mistakes I probably didn't recognize because I was just writing in the way that I thought was appropriate as a child. And then when I got into undergrad, my first year in undergrad, one of my professors, who is still a current mentor and someone that I hold near and dear to my heart for inspiring my writing journey, is someone who told me about organization when writing. So she really taught me the importance of when writing, whether it's short form or long form, that I should write down my ideas and then write beside each paragraph what's being discussed in that paragraph, and to make sure that I'm grouping similar ideas together with one another to help organize my writing, to make it clear and sometimes concise. But if it had to be longer, to still take that same approach to organize everything by talking about like topics within a specific space, and making sure that my things are as organized as possible so that my audience can understand everything. My wins with writing are that I don't have an issue with not being able to write long form. Sometimes I have to pull back to shorten my writing. And that can also be like loss as well, because when you want to write something simplified, but you're too verbose, then that can be problematic. And then when you want to be succinct, so it just all depends on who the target audience is or what the purpose of your writing is and whether it needs to be long form or short form. My lessons when it comes to writing is for me to remember that it's a fun process, and it might not always seem like it's fun, but being able to get your words out on paper and seeing things come to life for me is something that's fun. And being able to share my creativity with others through my writing is something that I always enjoy doing. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.